The fate of the immortal in Invincible is a tragic reflection of the deep isolation that comes with immortality. Although the immortal is portrayed as a powerful hero, his existence is one steeped in loss, heartbreak, and a haunting sense of loneliness. The path his life takes can be seen as a symbol of the inevitable consequences that immortality brings: the unrelenting march of time, the slow erosion of relationships, and the crushing burden of outliving everyone he loves.
Century after century after century, I've outlived everyone I've ever loved. Do you know what that does to a man?
In every version of the immortal's fate, he will be a man who has lived far beyond the lives of those around him, unable to escape the agony of watching his loved ones age and die. The idea of immortality is often romanticized, but the reality of it is much darker. For someone like the immortal, whose only purpose is to protect the earth and its people, his constant loss becomes his greatest enemy. He may save the planet countless times, but each time he does, he pays a personal toll. He loses friends, lovers, and even his own children to the inevitable passage of time, and no matter how many victories he achieves, he cannot prevent the fading of those connections. Even his new girlfriend Kate will eventually age and die right before his eyes. Unless he is killed by someone, this will always be his fate. He will be alone.
You just got engaged. In the past, I mean.
I've had hundreds of wives. Kate. I don't know that name.
In the future, where Mark ultimately kills him, this deep loneliness has become too unbearable for the immortal to bear any longer. Having seen his loved ones age and die, with no one left to share his experience or understand the weight of his existence, he slowly succumbs to madness. He pleads for Mark to end his suffering. This is perhaps the most poignant moment of his life, asking who he deems his friend, someone who is stronger than him, to take his life, not out of malice or anger, but out of an overwhelming desire for peace. The immortal has long outlived his own sense of purpose, and the only way he can find solace is through death, an escape from the endless cycle of grief.
You need to repay the debt you owe me.
What do you want me to do?
End my torment. Kill me. Be merciful. End my suffering and the suffering of this planet. A king cannot quit. He must fall forever. Kill me. But some things can only end in death.
This tragic outcome is a universal one for the immortal, no matter the timeline or universe. His immortality is a curse, not a blessing. He will never experience the normal joys of aging and living alongside others. Instead, he must witness their slow and inevitable demise. It is a cruel irony that someone who has dedicated his life to saving others should suffer such a fate.
The man you remember is dead, but I didn't receive that privilege. I'm a mere husk of who I was. I'll prove to you who I've become.
Wait, no!
In many ways, the immortal is the embodiment of one of the greatest quotes about heroism there is. You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. He begins his journey as a hero, fighting to protect Earth and its inhabitants. But as the years pass, his motivations become increasingly clouded, and the grief he bears turns into bitterness and rage. He eventually becomes a ruthless tyrant, killing people and enslaving them. He justifies this by saying that he only did this in order to bring his version of Mark back to Earth so that he may be killed by him. But that does not excuse the sheer brutality in which he punished the world that he was supposed to look after. The hero that he once was is gone, and in his place is a villain.
What happened here?
War. Centuries of it. Us versus him. Centuries ago, the planet was on the brink of collapse. Then one man was made ruler of Earth. And he ruled well. For a while. But slowly, he went mad. Mandatory work camps, prison for dissenters. Personally took 10 cities off the map for resisting.
Are you hurting people?
You left me no choice. It was the only way to bring you back. That's why I set all this in motion. You made me into this monster. How many more must die because of your mistakes?
The Immortal stands as a reminder that even the greatest heroes may not be able to withstand the weight of time. His tragic fate is one of the harshest in Invincible, showing that sometimes immortality is not a gift but a curse that drags its bearer into an endless cycle of loneliness, grief, and despair. It's a reminder that sometimes the greatest tragedy is not dying for a cause, but living long enough to see everything you love slip away. The truly sad thing about this is that there is no happy ending for the Immortal. This is his fate in every world, in every timeline, in every universe, and in every future.